So here's an oldie but goodie. We wanted to reintroduce this podcast that we had from a past August about electrolytes because it's that time of year.
It sure is. I don't know about you, but it's hot and sweaty time,
Yeah.
which is beautiful, and we love summer. But we also know that we need to replenish because we're doing a lot of sweating. So it's a great episode. We
Yeah.
also wanted to make sure everyone knows that we have created an exclusive Navigating Nourishment Facebook group to be able to unpack some of these podcasts and have some further discussion. So feel free to check us out there.
Yeah. We'd love for you to join us. And we wanted to let you know that we're gearing up for the fall with some groups. And we wanted to fill up our groups for the fall. We have daytime, evening groups, and those are such great places to get some habits going and to get your wellness in gear and to really set off the year for true health. And we would love to invite people out of state, out of country. If you're in Europe, we can figure that time zone out because your evening is our daytime. So it can work out beautifully on Zoom. And we'd love to have some people who aren't necessarily in our backyard this time in our groups.
So thanks for listening and stay connected.
We're so glad you're back with us. Welcome.
Welcome.
We are going to talk about electrolytes today. I'm so curious because this came from one of your client conversations, right?
Right. It's actually been around a lot because it's summertime, so you hear it a lot. And my client specifically asked me, how can I get electrolytes? I know Gatorade's not the best.
Right.
Which is true. So how can I make sure I get my electrolytes? And it was funny that she asked that because it had already been on my mind. And so it brought up the conversation. Let's explain what exactly are electrolytes?
Yeah. So electrolytes are minerals. They carry a
Potassium.
charge.
They do. And it brings me back to that chemistry class in high school.
Right.
There was a light bulb with metal probes, and the teacher would put the probes to a glass of water, and either the light bulb would light up or it wouldn't. And so I remember him putting salt. That is one of the minerals that makes a charge, an electric charge. That's an electrolyte. So that's sodium. Other ones are potassium and calcium. And there are a few others, but those are sort of the three main ones that we see, especially in drinks like Gatorade and other drinks like that, because they all conduct electricity.
So why do we need electricity in our body? This is so curious.
Yeah, well, we do. Most people know that if they've gone through, I guess, simple biology, right? Our bodies are electric, and we need electricity.
We all have a charge, right? Some more than others.
That's right. Yeah, we need it because that's how our bodies operate. Our brain functions on electricity. Our muscles function on electricity, especially our heart. In order for us to work as human beings, we need electricity.
Yeah.
And we get that through the electrolytes.
Right. So our brain's all out of whack. If we're dizzy, if we're faint, it could be from that.
That's right. Lightheaded, or maybe depressed, or even other disorders, mental disorders could simply be.
Right.
And it comes down to nutrition.
It always comes back to nutrition.
It always comes back to it. Right. So I guess what most people are curious about when it comes to electrolytes is because they're doing some kind of athletic endeavor, or they're outside and they're sweating a lot. And that's where the question comes from.
Right, because we lose our electrolytes through our sweat.
That's right.
Why we taste salty when we're sweating.
That's exactly right. It's why the dogs lick your skin after you sweat. So we lose our electrolytes, and how do we get them back? And given the average person who might work out regularly or might not work out regularly, but everybody sweats.
Right. You're doing some gardening or weeding, or you're out there, playing ball with the kids or racing around at the park.
That's right. And for that average person, we don't need to worry about replenishing electrolytes if we're eating properly, which we'll get into.
Right.
But where Gatorade comes into play, or how it used to before it got into colors like blue and purple and whatever else.
Not found in nature.
Right. Is because of athletes who were really working out for several hours a day and losing a lot of sweat and a lot of electrolytes.
Right.
So we're kind of guiding this discussion more towards the average person who sweats moderately.
Right. Right. Well, it's interesting you bring that up because we use these sport drinks now. Soccer moms are drinking them, and soccer dads and people in boardrooms are drinking them.
Right.
And we're misusing
Yes.
the tools that are out there on the market, and it's based partially on the marketing.
Right. And simply because they don't really know what it is that they need or think that they need.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and we need these electrolytes because we lose them through sweat. But how do we get electrolytes? Besides Gatorade?
It goes back to the real whole foods, right?
Right.
Foods in their whole food form have these minerals in them.
Sodium, potassium, calcium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially leafy greens. And it's one of the things you and I are always promoting to our clients is how many leafy greens are you actually truly getting? And you're going to get all these minerals from those beautiful tools.
Dark leafy
Yes.
greens. Yep. Seeds. Whole grains as well. They all have those minerals. It's simply, so if you're eating those on a regular basis, you have a stockpile of electrolytes. You don't need to worry about getting them in when you sweat a little bit. So, and it's a matter of maintaining a healthy diet so that you have the nutrients and minerals in your body that will get you through the times that you might diminish them a little bit. And then you have another meal and they're back. So it's just a matter of eating right.
Yeah, and be okay with a little bit of sweat and not having to run out and get a Gatorade to replenish yourself. Just have some greens.
That's right. If, however, you do have,
if you're sweating a lot,
you can maybe replenish them a little in a more natural way. We don't care for Gatorade simply because they've added too much junk. You know, it started out actually as a really healthy drink. It was a sodium. They add a little bit of glucose because they recognize the sugars are necessary too that we lose, carbohydrates through sweating. For athletes, but it didn't taste good because it wouldn't.
All right, so artificial flavors got thrown in there, artificial sugars,
right? And they didn't want it to be the color of sweat, so
Ooh, yummy.
So they put artificial colors in to make it more palatable, and now it has a whole bunch of artificial junk, and it's not good.
Yeah.
So
let's make our own.
Let's make our own. It's easy to do.
Yeah. So we could take plain water, throw in a little bit of maple syrup, some lemon and lime, and a pinch of salt. Yeah, shake it up.
Tastes delicious.
Yeah, just adjust it to your taste, and it's amazingly refreshing.
That's right. Yeah. That's your own special electrolyte drink.
Call it your own.
On a quick grab, coconut water is good too because it has especially a lot of potassium in it.
Yeah.
But really, just drink water and eat right.
Back to real whole foods.
That's right. Always.
Thanks for listening.